Hello, everyone, and welcome to my instructional podcast slash video for the app Soundtrap. So, if you're watching this instructional video, then you are or have been assigned in some way, shape, or form a task to create a music clip and or a podcast. So, let's get started. You need to log into Schoology. So as you can see, I'm logged into Schoology. It doesn't matter which class I'm in or which period I'm in. The steps are going to be the same. So you're going to click on my class period, and you should see, somewhere in here a list of assignments. But to the left of that, you should see the different apps that you have access to. And that's going to look different for every student because you're going to have apps that have been assigned to you from various teachers, one of which is myself. So I have assigned Soundtrap, which on this screen is at the very bottom. So I'm not really sure where it's at on your screen, but on my screen, it's at the very bottom on the left-hand side. So you're going to click on Soundtrap, and that's going to take you to an outside source, and source outside of Schoology. And depending on the band length of your internet and what time you do it, it's going to populate faster or slower based on that. As you can see, it didn't really take that long. But once you're in Soundtrap, if you have never used Soundtrap, you're going to have to type in your single user ID, username, and password. So whatever password and ID that you use or username that you use for the district, that's what you're going to use to log into Soundtrap. But understand you have to be in Schoology to do that. It recognizes me, so it automatically logged me in. My screen should look similar to your screen in that you should see a link here that has my projects and also one that says my groups. The other links are really for me as a teacher. You may or may not have some variation of that as a student, but most importantly, I think my projects and my groups are going to be the two categories that you're going to use the most. I'll also cursor down to let you see that I do have 4 sample podcasts that I've already created. And I'll probably upload one of those in your file so that you can take a listen to it. So let's enter the studio. You're going to click on the link that says Enter Studio. And again, it's going to vary in length in terms of getting you to the next page. But the next page looks like this. You can choose whether or not you want to just create music or whether or not you want to create a podcast. I'm going to ask you to select podcast because it gives you the option to incorporate voice, whereas the music does not. So we're going to click on podcast, and then it's going to take you to the music studio. So there are lots of things that you can do in Soundtrap. But again, this is going to be a very basic tutorial on how to use 3 different types of beats to create a sound. So you can browse the loops, which I'll talk about in a minute. You can add new tracks. You can import files that you've already created and add to them. But the bottom line is, in order for you to create the basic sound for the assignment that I've assigned, we are going to use the loops, which are located over here. Now, this does give you an option to browse loops, but I think this gives you a little bit more of a structured view to help you choose from. Now, what are loops? Loops are independent sounds that repeat after they've concluded. So, which ultimately forms a loop. So it's like a repeating sound, like a repeating drum beat or a repeating violin melody or a repeating bass sound. So we're going to use these loops. We're going to choose 3 and then create a sound. All right, so let's click on loops. Now, sounds populate, but I'm going to just erase that. So once I erase it, then you can see all the different types of musical instruments you can employ to create your sound. So depending on your assignment, I may have asked you to create a sound from a particular character's perspective, or a particular character's perspective about a certain idea. Or I may have asked you to create a mood. So whatever the assignment is, what you ultimately choose, the beats you ultimately choose are going to be different. But the way in which you choose the beats will be the same. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to choose something different in that all of my other beats have been a little somber, like they've been kind of dreary and sad. So I think I want to choose something a little bit more upbeat. All right. So in order to do that, I think I'm going to start with, I don't know, hip hop. So I'm going to click on the hip hop link. When you click on that link, there are hundreds of choices within each of the loop sounds. And it's very easy to figure out what the sound sounds like, because all you have to do is click on this sideway triangle to hear a sample. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to click on Baby Gorilla Deep. I have no idea what that sounds like. Okay. I'm going to increase the volume if I can. Okay, there we go. That's sort of upbeat. I kind of like that. All right, so let me go to another one. I'm just going to choose another one that's, I have no idea, but crispy sounds interesting. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay. So let's try Cruising Mosquito. Okay. So you get the idea. You can literally just cursor down and go through as many as you like within each of these different categories. So I have pre-selected some, so let's see if I can find them now, right? So the first beat that I selected was in the category of hip hop, and it was this one, Vocal Synthesis Pattern 1. So let's listen. Okay. Now that does sound a little upbeat, doesn't it? Okay, so how do I lay it down as a track? So I am going to right click on my keyboard and I am going to carry all the way over to add a new track. There it is. Now I need to lower it because it's a pretty strong beat. Okay, but I like it. All right, so let's pause. All right, because I need to find 2 more beats. So far I've found 1. So my second one, I decided, because again, I'm kind of thinking upbeat, I chose synthesis or synthesize. So that's the category. All right, so I cursored through a few of these and I ended up finding one that says, I think it was Fun or Oregon Fun, something like that. Oregon Fun, there it is. Let's listen to that one. Okay, again, that's an upbeat sound. All right, so let's stop. Let's move it over to add a new track. Okay, now let's listen to our 2 sounds combined. If I can find my Here, let me move this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, I like that. All right, so let's continue. I have one more track to lay down. So the last one, since again I'm thinking upbeat, I am going to choose, I'm going to choose rock. Okay, and so with rock, I looked through a few of them and I found something. It said fun drums. There it is, fun drums. Okay, so let's listen to that. Okay, I think that's the sound that I heard. All right, so let's move it over. Add a new track. Oh, all right, maybe I didn't add it over right. So let me move it. There we go. All right, there we go. So let's see what it sounds like. Okay, now doesn't that sound upbeat? Now you see how it's looping? It's just returning back to the beginning and the beat is continuing. All right, so we have created our first music clip together. All right, so what do we do after this? After this, you are going to save this file. So I am going to save it as, you name it, whatever you want to name it, upbeat music clip. All right, and then I'm going to save it. All right, now I'm going to go back to the beginning by clicking on the link in the top left-hand corner, which is Soundtrap Home. All right, so I've laid the clip, I've saved it. Now you're going to turn it into an MP3 or MP4 recording, and you're going to upload it in Schoology. All right, we're back at the beginning. So let's go down. There it is. There's my upbeat music clip. So let's just sample it again. There it is. I'm going to have you guys thinking I'm a real musician. All right, so from this, we are going to we are going to download it. All right, so from I guess I could have chosen download over here, but I'm over here. We're going to download it as an MP3 because that's going to be the easiest way to change it and upload it so that everyone can hear it. So we're going to download it as an MP3. Now, let me tell you this. It is going to take approximately anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes for it to convert your file. All right, so once you upbeat music clip. Okay, so here is the downloaded version right here. All right, so it's downloaded right there. Everyone can see that. I actually downloaded it several times and tried and downloaded something else as well. But but I just want you to see that it is downloaded. All right, from here, we're going to go back to Schoology. So let's go to Schoology. There we go. All right, so let's go back to Schoology. And from Schoology, what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to a particular period and show you where you would, in your particular period, upload your your music clip. So whatever unit you're in, it is going to be in that unit. So for the purposes of period 6, this is the unit that you would actually log into. But regardless of which period you are in, every period that I've assigned this to is going to have a podcast media album. So from that, you're going to click on that link, and then you're going to add media. So you click on this box right here. It's taking a little bit longer than usual. You're going to attach the file. And it's going to be in my downloads. So let me click downloads. It's working on it. Upbeat music clip. So I'm going to choose that one. And there you go. So I'm going to add the media. And I'm going to add a caption. So the caption that you're going to write is you're going to write your name, underscore, the type of music, the mood of the music, and then save. All right, so that's your mood. If I want you to add something else to it, you may have to add a character's name or something like that. I'll put that in the instructions, okay? But for the most part, you have the gist of what you need to do. All right, folks, it's been a pleasure. I hope this instructional podcast was of help, and I hope to hear some great music. Talk to you guys later.